Same story, different Western Conference final for the Dallas Stars. The offense is nowhere to be found. The mental toughness is nowhere to be found. The Stars are nowhere to be found, and their inevitable elimination is on the horizon.
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. The Dallas Stars were outshot 13-4 in the final 20 minutes of regulation with their season on the line. Outshot 13-4 by the Edmonton Oilers with their season on the line. Outshot 13-4 with their season on the line. And they find a way to score 2 goals in their last 3 games against the Oilers. Welcome into today's Game 4 reaction episode of Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day, and the eventual and inevitable elimination of the Dallas Stars is now on the horizon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the same old song and dance with the Dallas Stars for the 3rd straight year. The lack of mental toughness with this Stars team is truly, truly embarrassing. Just no resilience whatsoever in this Western Conference final against the Edmonton Oilers. For whatever reason, just no mental toughness whatsoever to just push through and grind it out and just force change. Instead, just wait for others. Just wait for others to try to get the job done. Mikko will put on the cape at some point, right? Mikko's going to put on the cape. He's not the problem, by the way, Stars fans. Jake Ottinger is not the problem with the Dallas Stars. It is the leadership top down. Jamie Benn, where are you? And I've been on his tail all postseason long with the inopportune penalties. I didn't love the tripping penalty, but whatever. Dallas had plenty of power plays in this contest to win again. And they go 1 for 4. Edmonton goes 2 for 3. Lights out. Night. Completely folded you up, put you in a bag, and threw you inside the laundry. Threw you inside the dryer, the washer, whatever laundry equipment you want to use. That's what they did in the 3rd period. And credit, hey, first off, let's give credit to Edmonton. They're clearly the better team. Great job at all the credit in the world to Edmonton. You're way better. Just way better mentally. Maybe it doesn't show on the ice. I'm not going to get to any of the numbers right now. It's all phantom stuff at this point for Dallas. Yeah, it looks awesome in favor of the Stars. But when it came to any sort of big moment in this series, the Stars have just crapped the bed every single time. Every single time. They finally get a power play goal from Jason Robertson. Leave it to Jason Robertson, who couldn't buy a goal, let alone a point, since he returned to the lineup. And some of that, I think, is to no fault of his own. He's probably not 100%. He looked awesome tonight. He was dangerous, had some good chances, scored the power play goal. That was awesome. And then another penalty for Mason Marchment. And, of course, Edmonton converts. I don't know what Ceci was doing. He took away the passing lane and then for some reason stood up, and Perry had a tap in. I don't know what Ceci was doing. Well, he shouldn't have allowed Nugent Hopkins to walk in from that area, but Ceci went down to take away the pass and then stood up for whatever reason. But this Stars team just mentally soft, really mentally soft. Constantly trailing in the series. Of course, they put together a good start, and it leads to Edmonton power play goal. Another period where they come out, they pretty much dominate. And what did they get for it? Trailing 1-0, just like the second period the other night in game 3. It starts from the top down, just mentally soft, just not being able to push back. Like I after Robo scores, you just have a feeling that Edmonton is going to respond. You know why? Because they're a damn mentally tough team that has what it takes to win the cup. Simple as that. It doesn't matter what the referees are doing. It doesn't matter the officiating. It doesn't matter who's leaving the lineup. Doesn't matter who gets hurt. Doesn't matter who checks in. They will respond and they will make it happen. They will push through and succeed because they're not worried about all the other crap. They're just worried about playing their game. They're worried about playing Edmonton Oilers hockey, and the Stars just happen to be in the way. And Dallas just floats around and just sits there and takes it. I mean, just takes it. And look, Dallas played good tonight. I'm really not upset with that. Dallas played fine, but fine doesn't win you Stanley Cups, and good doesn't win you Stanley Cups. And not showing up in critical situations time and time again. Everything the Stars did well in the first 2 rounds has just gone by the wayside. There's no inopportune penalty kills, or there's no timely penalty kills. They're not getting enough timely saves, although Otter made some big stops tonight in that third period because he had to face 13 shots for whatever reason, since Dallas just, once again, not wanting to throw pucks on net, not wanting to get in Skinner's face, not a ton of just quality looks because they're all shots coming from the outside of the circles. They can't get interior. They just cycle the puck around. They have possession. Like, it's great. They have possession. Stars are controlling possession. They have the puck. It's not materializing in anything because they just fail. They just fail to want to get to some of those dirty areas and just jam pucks home. There's no toughness. There's no toughness in there to just take the bull by its horns and make something happen. They're just waiting for others to do it. It's extremely infuriating. And again, they didn't play awful tonight, but it's not good enough if you're not going to score on the power play and you're not going to get penalty kills. But also the issue is there. You're just taking dumb penalties. And how many times did I come after every episode in the first 2 rounds and constantly moan about all the stupid penalties the Stars took, all the stupid penalties they took, and it really never came back to haunt them until you play Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Then you're going to get your face kicked in because they're the 2 best players on the planet, and they take advantage, and they are going to make it happen while you just sit and watch because they're tough. They've been to the cup. They won it. They fell short in Game 7 last season, and they just have the resolve, the resiliency to kick your face in and night out. And they're doing it again to the Dallas Stars, and they're sitting there and taking it. There's just no push. And it was a good first period, but what did they get for it? They trail, consistently trailing in the series. And no, you cannot, I don't want to hear the physicality argument too. The Stars team isn't physical. You can't bully teams and play physical when you trail the whole game. You can't bully teams. You can't play physical when you're trailing by a goal or 2 goals here and there. That's not the way the Stars are built, and it's not a recipe for success. If they just want to go around throwing hits and throwing bodies, all it is going to lead to them in the penalty box and once again failing to score. They can't score. They can't be physical when you're trailing. In retrospect, like it's all like in a bright world, if it's all sunshine and rainbow, yes, I would like the Stars to go out and be physical and just hammer. You can't do that when they trail. You can't play that way. It's not a recipe for success. And Dallas went out and got more physical in the offseason, right? They brought in Dumba, they brought in Labushkin, and they brought in these guys, and 2 of them are healthy scratches. Your 2 guys you brought in to be physical are healthy scratches. And yes, should they have gotten a different piece? Maybe they should have got out and find somebody else. Yeah, but they went out and got more physical. And this is what good teams do that went out and got more physical, but really they just got older and a bit slower. Cody Ceci is a perfect example. Like, he's still playing ginormous minutes against Connor McDavid. How many times did I see him just give the puck to McDavid in the offensive zone? It's not a recipe for success. 11 scoring chances against, the most by any Dallas Stars defenseman, 18 against in all situations for Ceci. He's playing ginormous minutes against the Oilers with that amount of talent on the other side. It's not a recipe for success. And it's a sobering reality as well, because I don't know how, yes, Dallas can play better, but how much better can the Stars really play? And they don't feel like they're on the same planet as Edmonton. There's some big changes and hard decisions that are going to have to be made, but just mentally soft. And it's not a lack of effort. I don't agree with that. I don't like the no heart argument and any of that stuff. Look, you can think what you want, but that's not the issue. It's not the issue. But I do think they're just a bit mentally weak. And that's really sad, considering some of the skins on the wall they have in that locker room. And there just seems to be no response. No response. Same old song and dance for the Dallas Stars. Their inevitable elimination is on the horizon. Let's discuss that more in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both nutritious and delicious? Crackin, a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts, and it is amazing because its 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help you keep that feeling of being fuller longer. It has a complete protein. It provides all 9 essential amino acids, and they pack that protein punch. It's like snack meditation as well, I should say. It's really both. It's like medication and meditation. You crack it open, you get that delicious snack, you get that delicious crunch, and when you're running around all day long, going to meetings, dropping off your kids, you need that quick snack that's nutritious so you're not snacking on unhealthy foods. That's where Wonderful Pistachios comes in. Go get them right now at your local grocery store. Get snacking, get cracking with a snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. The Oilers put on a clinic in the third period against the Stars as well. Stars with 4 shots, as I mentioned, just a couple of chances in that third period. Outshot 13-4 with just their season on the line, and it's just the same story. And Pete DeBoer says the same thing. They just can't get a lead for whatever reason. All they did just they never got rewarded for any of their hard work. And it's extremely frustrating. Like, I'm watching Duchene just skate around with possession, and they really never threaten Skinner. They just really never threaten him. And like Mikko Rantanen, I mean, he had a few posts in the game. Like, he's doing all he can, it feels like, and he's gone quiet too, which hasn't helped. And I know the narrative is going to be on Mikko Rantanen and all that, but he's like the last issue of this Dallas Stars team. Like, I don't even want to hear it. He is not the problem. I'm speechless again, where it's like, you have to finish. You have to finish. It all boils down to that again. And Otter was great tonight too. He held them in, but just no run support. 3 goals in your last 3 games. 3 goals in your last 3 games. And really, the Stars should have been swept. I mean, they should be eliminated already if it wasn't for a magical third period in game 1 where they scored 3 power play goals. They should be eliminated. I mean, not even not even competitive in a lot of ways. And like they were good tonight. Hence, when he was on the ice, 23 scoring chances. Not bad. Harley, Miro, like did a lot of good things tonight too, but they're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. Or maybe they are, and they just simply didn't score. I think that's fair to some degree too, but at the end of the day, it's the third straight season and the same issues arise. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to have to be something. And I'm going to try to save some of those for eventually when the Stars team gets eliminated. I don't know if it does anybody good to get into that now. We can get into, we're going to have months to talk about what Dallas is going to have to change and do differently, but they feel like they're getting old. They have older players, these veterans, right? The savvy veterans that are just not productive in these. I mean, Duchene, again, nowhere to be found for the most part. Marchment has hurt his team so much this postseason. I'm a big Marchment fan. I really am, but has not been good enough. Johnston has not been good enough. Like really nothing from him again. And it's just, it's depressing. I mean, Jamie Benn played 9:58 he played under 10 minutes. Your captain played your captain played less than Colin Blackwell tonight. Need I say more? He played less than Colin Blackwell. Jamie freaking Benn played less than Colin Blackwell tonight. And again, it's not like anybody was horrible in the game or play. Really, it's there's not anybody that's just taking control and trying to lead. That's infuriating. But there's just nobody that's taking the bull by the horns like Mikko Rantanen did in Game 7 against Colorado, right? Like that sort of mentality. Just like, let's make something happen. There's just none of that. In what should be Jamie Benn's final season in Dallas. He'll probably be brought back, but what we've seen in this postseason from Jamie Benn, he should be gone. There's no way he should be brought back. Like this is how you perform with your season on the line in your mid-30s and you're trying to get a taste of the cup again. He should be gone. I mean, and look, I like Jamie Benn, don't get me wrong, but there's just no accountability, no toughness. Where's the resilience? Like, where's all that we've seen the last few years for the most part? But they have to score. They have to score. Stuart Skinner is about to just shut you down 2 years in a row. He was excellent tonight. And Dallas generated enough. Again, the numbers look good. Just not very good. And not enough players, not enough stars stepping up when they really needed them to. And Dallas got through the first 2 rounds on special teams, phenomenal goaltending, and just timely plays in big moments. And Dallas hasn't got any of those in this series. They haven't got any of them. And yeah, you can say it's unsustainable. That is fair if you want to make that point. but I give Dallas a lot of credit for what they did in the 2 rounds without some of their best players and trying to get them back. And then when everything seems to start to come together, it just dissolves again. Sad for Dallas, but deserved. Sad, but deserved. And we'll touch on that a bit more in just a moment as well. So I'll touch on this because I think it really isn't. It's a really fascinating conversation with me, and I'm gonna have to bring on guests and have this conversation because I feel one way, and I know a lot of other people feel differently, and that is Pete DeBoer. A lot of people want him gone, and I completely understand that. I know the stigma around him, and he's not able to get over the hump, and I truly get. I think it's fair. And I know like there's like he's not adapting to Edmonton and all that, and I completely get that. I know Dallas is down 3-1, but I look at the last 2 games in particular, and from what I'm watching, I don't know how the trail leads back to DeBoer. And I get it, he's the head coach. It sort of all falls on him. But in my opinion, what Dallas did last 2 games was pretty darn good. I think I would say outplayed Edmonton these last 2 games to some degree. And I don't know how Dallas not able to score or finish their opportunities is on DeBoer in a lot of ways. But I can agree there wasn't a lot of change in the attack and the approach. Dallas was kept to the outside a lot. They just weren't able to get interior. So that I think does fall on him, not trying to find other ways to just really go about attacking Edmonton, because once again they're just unable to really get to Stuart Skinner and make his life really hard. I think it's a fascinating conversation. I guess I feel like I'm a bit indifferent. I really don't know if like the Stars should keep him or not. And again, some of this is a conversation for another time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I don't feel strongly about one either. If they wanted to go a different direction, I'd be like, okay, I see it. If they didn't, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense as well. Because it depends like who's on the market. I don't know if the grass is always greener. I think DeBoer has done a phenomenal job. And I think 2 things can be at once. DeBoer's done a phenomenal job, but maybe he's not the answer. Just like he was in Vegas, and then Cassidy comes, boom, they win a cup the next year. Like, I think that is fair too. It really is a fascinating conversation. I would love to ask others that. I don't feel strongly on either way, but you watch nights like this, and I start seeing it from that perspective about why you want him out of here, right? Because he's shown time and time again he can't get over the hump, and you're doing it 3 years in a row. Your older guys only are going to get older. Your core's only going to get older. And then you get to the point, are you just wasting primes again? It's the San Jose Sharks conversation, right? During the 2010s with Pav and Thornton and Marleau, Couture, like all those really good Sharks teams that just fell short. Funny enough, DeBoer was there too. And are we going to get to the end of this window? Although the Stars are still built pretty well for the future. Like they still have a long runway, but 5 years down the line and they're stuck here. It's tough, right? It's really, really, really tough. Yeah, that's a fascinating conversation, and I'm curious to hear other points of view, but I think there's a lot of interesting decisions that are really starting to rear its head. I mean, 2 of the guys you went out and got in free agency are healthy scratches, and Eli Labushkin and Matt Dumba. The guys are supposed to bring some grit and And look, I wasn't in love with those signings from the hop. I wasn't, but I thought I gave him a fair chance during the regular season. I thought Lyubushkin, for the most part, played pretty well. Even Dumba had some stretches, but as always, the question was going to be this time of year: can you hold up against the best in the world and playing heavy minutes? And we're watching Cody Ceci play top 4 minutes for Dallas. It's just not a good recipe. It never was. It was never a good recipe to have him playing in that role, and we knew that. And it's just and again, it's not like it's not like the defense is it's not the end of the world for Dallas. It really hasn't been the biggest issue for the Stars in the series, because I mean, you're not going to beat anybody scoring 3 goals and or what, 2 goals in 3 games. You're not going to beat anybody, let alone this time of year in the Western Conference Final. You're not going to beat anybody doing that. But gosh, just really, really, really sad stuff. But I mean, frankly, deserved for Dallas. Their inability to try to adapt and defeat this team. They looked frustrated for the first time. They looked irritated and a bit whiny to some degree. And as we said a lot coming into the series, they can't play track meets with Edmonton, and they can't play from behind. And they have played from behind in every game in the series. And this is what they get. Sad, really is sad. And their inevitable elimination could be on a Thursday night at home, but we'll see what they're able to muster up then. And we'll see if they can make things interesting in the series, but I don't count on it. I think they're done, which sucks. I think they're done. And it'll be a fun off season, I guess. But we'll hang in there until the very end, Stars fans. Just some numbers to throw it out there. I don't know if it does any good. A scoring chance of 5-on-5, 23-20 in favor of Dallas. High danger chances, they were tied at 8. Expected goals for the Stars at 5-on-5, 2.68 for Dallas, 2.08 for Edmonton. So not massive majorities for Dallas. Skinner was phenomenal tonight. Stars on the power play, they went 1 for 4. Edmonton goes 2 for 3 on the power play. They outshoot Dallas 33-29, 50 hits to 24 for Edmonton. That's what you're allowed to do when you get a lead and you can just shut teams down. And in big moments, Dallas crapped the bed. Edmonton continues to push. They continue to be resilient and not allow anything that doesn't go their way to affect them in a lot of ways. They just brushed it off, and the Stars just happen to be passengers on the Oilers' way to the Stanley Cup for the second consecutive year. That's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Stars. Please vent below. Be my guest in the comments below. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me rant a bit and ramble on today's episode. Thank you for making us your first listen. Locked On Stars, part Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hope Stars fans and enjoy the day tomorrow the best you can. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and get through the day tomorrow. And we'll be back in a couple days to do it again. See if the Stars can extend their season. But looking pretty bleak right now. Stars fans, have a great rest of your day. See you on the next episode. So long.